Morning. You're right. Look there. You can hardly see them now because there's none of the land left that was there. But that is where 5 houses stood. When the dune goes, of course, the sound changes. It becomes far more thuddy and far noisier, and you can hear it all the way along now. Everybody down here has a little marker on the dunes to say if that tree goes, or that lamppost goes, or that whatever goes, that's the point I'm going to start looking and doing something and see if I might have to run away or escape or something. 24th November, we lost 30 metres of that dune, and the dune up there is as high as this. So this line, this part of the dune here, will be scoured away. There's nothing to stop it, it'll just go through here.
Hemsby is, I discovered, is the archetypal family-friendly seaside town. It's dog-friendly, it's kid-friendly, picture postcards, family, seaside destination, that's it. We're going to be coming here for decades, in fact generations, to come here for that. There wasn't really much changing here. We lost a bit at the top of the dune, a bit at the front, but that was all that really happened. And then it just seemed to go so quick. Every time we get a high tide now, because things are so fragile now, it seems to be the damage done is more considerable and quicker. You can always see the stress in people's faces. When they know there's a storm coming or they know there's a high tide coming, it's almost palpable, you can feel it, because they know if it goes wrong, it's either them or somebody down the road or somebody else who they're going to watch basically having their lives destroyed. We haven't got weeks and months and years to plan our lives here now. We're looking ahead to the next high tide and which way is the wind blowing. That could mean people lose their houses. It's that fragile. Looking out at the sea, that used to be the one thing that drew us to this place. The fact we could sit here, have a cup of coffee, see the sea, wake up in the morning, you've got the sunrise and the sea's out there, and it's lovely. But now the sea, I don't see that as like a nice thing to look at. I'm looking at it as an enemy. It's what is it doing today? How bad is it going to be? My whole goal for being here was for my granddaughter to get old enough to build memories of being at the seaside with her grandma and grandpa, so that she can remember Hemsby, remember this house, remember going to the beach, remember going to the whatever it be. I'm not sure she's going to have that now, which is the sad thing for me. My personal goal is to try and help wherever I can to protect what's left. I want to protect what I've got, protect my neighbours, make sure that the people we've got that we're friends with can stay here.
God,
Don't worry
what
about
has happened to the weather?
pressure. I was like, oh my God, fire, get the fire on. Goodness me.
Oh.
I mean, they are working on the beach today, aren't they? I have seen them sort of about.
Yeah, we can see where they come past.
Got the tracks on the beach. I'd love them just to stop in the middle here and do something for us. How can they expect people to live the way that we live? You know, everybody has helped everybody else down the Marams. We haven't had any help.
No,
you know, it's been as us, as a family.
Last week, I emailed GYBC and said, what I'm after is an urgent temporary permission. You see the lump of sand at the low tide line?
Yeah.
Take the lump of sand and push it up against the dunes.
Yeah.
On the basis that when we get the high tides, it'll just wash it all back away anyway. So I'm thinking, I'm not adding anything, I'm just moving some sand about.
Yeah.
Spoke to Dan about it, he was quite happy to help us with it. Mark was happy to lend equipment, he was going to go out and get the proper kind of shovel front bit to do all that. And then GYBC says, no, you can't do it. Refuses permission.
This is our homes, this is where we all live, this is everything that we've got in the world that we've, you know, all of us have worked full time. and we come here to sort of semi-retire or to have a better lifestyle. And why it's being left to be basically taken by the sea, we can't understand it.
The Environment Agency set out a bunch of criteria against which they will fund sea defences. Because Hemsby is a normal little town, we're not all major millionaires, we don't have major mansions, and because of that, when they do the calculations to work out how much we're entitled to, we don't have enough money, we're not worth saving. Please look at the criteria, add in the value of tourism to the land, let us have our sea defences, let us keep our seaside coastal villages. Thank you. Yeah. Do you want to take one of those each then, so as we're filmed on the way in?
Hemsby is mainly tourism. So out of season, there's probably about 2,700, 3,000 people here. During the season, that number rises up to over 20,000.
Oh, hi, love to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In shops, in pubs, in chip shops, in the lifeboat, everywhere you can find it, you'd have found one of our petitions in there.
Just wondering what is the price?
Well, at the time I was an activist for them. I was on the...
And the petition just said basically, if you love Hemsby, join us to go to number 10 to press to have sea defences.
Yeah. Need you to photograph as well, Jess, to get as close as you can.
Yeah, we need some photos.
Yeah. I don't know where we go. Apparently we're supposed to go the...
In there, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
You all have your IDs ready?
Yep.
You got them.
I think with the constant involvement of the media now and the constant involvement of the press we've got, I think something has to happen. The feeling is it's building up now to the point where they can no longer just keep saying, sorry, because someone keeps asking the same question. But why haven't you done this? Why haven't you changed that? Why haven't you looked at this? Why haven't you considered other options? So it's not just us saying it, it's everybody else saying it now.
The sea can be very, how can I put it, very deceiving. When I was fishing, I always respected the sea. It didn't matter what I was doing. I knew what I could do, and I knew how quick I could do it. I've been in Hemsby all my life. Put it like this, I went fishing with my father when I was about 12, and carried on from there. I mean, there was no doubt what I was going to do in my lifetime. I mean, didn't have much choice really, but it didn't matter. This was Hemsby Beach in the 1970s. You can see how wide it was and you can see how popular it was. The beach was nothing but sand. It was miles of it. There was actually another row of dunes ahead of the main dunes. This was the gap in the 1993 hurricane, what was left of it. Tremendous that was. It took 33 bungalows in one tide. That was what killed our beach. There's no doubt about that. That was actually in May 2013. You can see how much beach went that day. It's very distressing to me because I warned all the councils and everybody else that this would happen 25 years ago, and there was nothing done about it. There is no answer to this unless they do defences. There's no answer to it. They've just got to keep coming. There's no stopping it.
If we can get through these next couple of storms, then it does generally calm down again until kind of August time. Not planning year on year here, we're literally trying to say, well, can we get past that next phase to buy us the time to then get through to the next bit? It's almost storm to storm, tide to tide at the moment around here. being attacked at the moment by residents. We don't know why. It's because they want stuff happening now. And we've had to say, well, we've been fighting, but it's not happening. But we will continue to fight, and we continue to do whatever we can to get it to work, but it's just not happening. Well, I mean, 10 years sitting in your backside and nothing to show, it'd pretty much say that was appalling, and you complain about Brandon doing sweet FXXX, or you're just as bad. We've been doing it for 10 years. We've been banging our head against a brick wall for 10 years. And it's a bit upsetting we get comments like that coming back, because she thinks we haven't done enough. We're not the ones to blame. We're still the ones fighting. They just want basically someone to come along, give them £20 million and put the defences in, which is what we'd all love to have. But at the moment, there's no sign of that happening under the current criteria, which is exactly why we did the petition to fight to change that criteria. People do different things. Some people get angry, some people get upset, some people get withdraw into themselves. We've seen that up and down the mountains when I've been talking to people when they're actually losing their properties. Well, another long walk to go and take these to the bins as usual. At least that's holding. That's stopping them. Yeah. You look out and we can see how much dune's missing now, and we can see gaps where we couldn't see before, and we know it is inevitable at some point it's going to hit us. Yeah. At the very, very bad end of the scale, which happened last year at the other end of the Marams to us, the dune eroded very, very fast. It just went in big chunks. They'll come around, they'll think, okay, that property's too close to the edge, I don't want it going onto the beach. They'll then issue with a Section 77 notice, which means you shouldn't really be staying there, we think it's dangerous for you. You don't have to agree to that, but then they do send you some quite threatening letters, where they're basically saying that if you don't accept our Section 78 and leave your house and sign it over to us, then you are liable for fences that go over the side, your cesspit that goes over the side, your oil tank. You are liable for all these things, and you will have to pay this. How can we, as a fairly rich country of the world, treat people that badly?
I'm emptying my storage out because I can't afford the nearly £200 a month. I've been stopped doing everything I wanted to do. I had a long life in a marine background, working all around the world. It was a natural progression for me to retire by the sea. Gone. I'm here, I'm in here, I've been in here since December the 8th. That's sort of going to be tattooed on my brain. December the 7th, at about 5 o'clock, I got the keys for this place, and that next morning I had to move out. So it was just all hell broke loose. 12 hours later, essentially. There was nothing. For the first couple of months, I didn't have an oven. I've had to buy that. There was nothing there, it was an empty space. As you can see, I put the nets up and the track and the curtains up. The curtains in there, the nets up. I had no big outlays. I was mortgage free. Now all of a sudden I've got oil here, I've got council tax, I've got rent. Yeah. So, when we talk about environmental or climate refugee, we bloody mean it. There was no towel rails. There wasn't even a toilet roll holder. After you've been made homeless and lost everything. I mean, financially lost everything. I've gone from huge anxiety and stress, because, losing my home over there went on for some months because of the storms. In fact, went on for some years because of the accelerated storms and the accelerated erosion. So I've gone from that to thinking here, sometimes you just sit there and you think, or you lay there and you think, shall I get up today? No, I think, no, I can't do that. That's going down the hole. That's where the depression will start, and I will not have that. I'll fight that all the way.
I think the fundamental problem is nobody wants to take any responsibility. That's the kind of feeling you get. It's kind of, oh, it's you lot again. Oh, it's Hemsby again, for goodness sakes. There are some changes in the atmosphere coming up. The conditions are there to cause another sudden cold downdraft. And it is literally just tide to tide, because everything's so damaged down here now that it doesn't take very much for it to, you know, take away another chunk of the dune that's somebody else's house.
We lost a bit more here. It's obviously has been hit in the high tide, because those are new. All along the top, that vertical edge is all waiting to come off. Yeah, these cables coming down, that's new. They've just been exposed. Well, you can see where the houses are now. One there, one there, one there.
When we first moved in, the March high tides were just March high tide, land. But now it's massively destructive, because the dune structure around here, in fact the coastal structure, is so weakened.
So I just got to photograph this.
Last high tide was just that, a high tide, and it just scoured the gap away. According to the information I have, it's too big a job for a charity like the lifeboat guys to keep going. It's just got too damaged. There's got to be somebody else to step into this. We've got this opportunity, we have this window now to fix it, and if we miss that, it'll be irreparable.
Our 3 volunteers, victims who took the petition to London, deserve to break the news that it worked. Well, a little bit so far anyway. They've commissioned a piece of work which is a fundamental rethink of coastal economics, and this work is centred around identifying how the functioning purpose of coastal settlement might change through erosion. Because of the petition we took into London, they are now going to look at how they evaluate land value on that particular criteria. They are now going to be looking at that exact box on that exact spreadsheet to say what is the value of tourism rather than just the value of the property. So it's a massive, massive step forward. They've actually accepted what we said all along, and we've got a fighting chance now to put some fair funding in. There is a light at the end of the tunnel now, but it's a heck of a long tunnel. It's a very dull little light, but it's there. You know, we can hang on to it.
You walk around your own home and you think, oh, I must get around to whatever, changing that curtain or painting that skirting board or changing that door or whatever it be. We have that thought, I must get around to doing that, and then immediately follow up by a thought of, well, what's the point? We may only have 3 months, 4 months.
The carpet, all this sort of stuff's going to go down the skip, but it's... Part of your brain thinks, don't spend the time, don't spend the money, because in 18 months' time or 2 years' time or one storm or we don't know how long it's going to be, you could be told just to walk away. And you just feel, I don't want to put any more of my effort and myself into the property because you've got that always hanging over you. But then the other half of your brain says, but if you don't do it, you've given up. You only lose when you give up. If you fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and get to the end of it, and that's it, then you haven't lost particularly because you haven't given up. It's just you hit something you couldn't beat.